Hello, this is Gary the Coconut, and this is a game between dTpMaltiso. So we're going to call him Maltiso, because the other name is his team. And this is FaDeEvan, or FaDeEvan. And Z vs T, obviously, and this game was sent in to me by FaDeEvan. And I don't know if that's a team name or something, but this is a Grandmaster game. And so I think it's awesome that somebody from Grandmasters actually watched my channel and wanted to send me a replay. This is a really good game. And he said that this is on the SEA server and that this third player, Maltiso, is actually the top 5 player in his server. So that would be similar to something like Hydra for America, something like that. So this is going to be a very high-paced game. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up or keep up. So this SCV is doing is scouting for that Overlord to see if it is close air positions, because about this time that Overlord would be floating in to do the scouting. So the Overlord has greater distance of vision than the command center, so the Overlord would be floating in and then floating right back out. But that is not the case, and this time, as you can see, this Overlord did already scout this location and is being sent down here. Sure. To do scouting for the expansion. So, thanks again to FaDeEvan for sending me this replay. Already an expansion going down for the Zerg, so he is doing a fast expand on the 15 drones and doing his scouting the other direction, but they are in cross positions. Luckily for him, I don't know about Maltiso, but I like cross positions myself. Whoa, doing a hidden barracks, but that's a very funny location for a hidden barracks. I guess he doesn't want it to get scouted, and it won't, it looks like, but the drone does get in. So while I have a second, I just want to say that I've been getting a lot of new subscribers lately, so I just want to give a special little shout out to you. Thanks for subscribing, and just let you know what my channel's like. I try to do one game of StarCraft a week, and I like it to be an unusual game. So that's usually my Bestofbronze series, and I also have Fancasts, which are not Bestofbronze, but I still want to cast them. And then I have tips and tricks videos, things like that. So this SCV is being a nuisance doing scouting. And so I try to do one video a week, and I also want to thank how many replays I've been getting. Holy cow. They're coming in so fast. Oh, doing the bunker rush. Obviously with the 2 racks, this is going to be early aggression. So he's doing what he has to do and pulling off those drones, and he's going to be going for the SCV, but see, this is killer because the drones cannot get this around, and he can just go back and forth building these bunkers, and this SCV could be attacking, I don't know. But now that the Marine is there, it will clean this up, and I'm pretty sure that one of these barracks will finish. So there won't be any Bestofbronze this week because I'm going to be uploading 2 games, because FaDeEvan sent me 2 games, so I'm going to be doing those instead of Bestofbronze this week. And yeah, awesome. And this is, wow, they are just sitting there dying. But the bunker is in there, and it is going away at that spine crawler with the repair. Smart to back off. What he needs to do is, he can get, but now that the Marines are unloading, this is just a rough strategy, no matter what you do to combat this. But I think he now, yeah, see, he's out of range, so this is good. So the spine crawler does have a larger range than the bunkers, but you have to put them at an angle like this, and then they can be unloaded. Yep, he's doing exactly what he needs to do with these 2 spine crawlers. He should be able to clean this up, but it is getting reinforced. And I'm pretty sure that you can, yeah, you can just load Marines into this bunker, unload them into this bunker, and it's very instant. It's very fast. So this is tough, but it doesn't look like it looks like it's going to be held off. Oh, see, that's exactly what he did. He just loads them up quickly into this bunker, unloads them into this bunker, and it's like a Nidus network pretty much when the bunkers are that close. And so one spine did go down because of the unloading. But this, oh, and now we have 5 Marines. So this is just rough. I don't know. This is like Bunker Rush level 100, man. Look at that. And it's not really doing a lot of good. If we look at the units lost tab, Zerg has lost more. And those are Zerglings. But this is being pretty costly for this, for FaDeEvan as well. Maltiso is doing exactly what he needs to do. And these SCVs can just repair forever, so it's good that he takes those down. And now they were loaded into this bunker since that bunker went down. Now without the spine crawler pressure, it's going to be rough. And it looks like he is no longer reinforcing this attack, so he did... I don't know if he savaged that bunker. I didn't see. Ah. There we go. Attack done. And see, it didn't really pay off. So it wasn't as successful as that rush needed to be. It was not an all-in strategy. As you can see, he has been macroing back home. He does have his second orbital command and his factory on the way. Let's put back up that production tab. Ooh, Bangling Nest. That's good. Bangling Nest on the way for Maltiso. And I don't know if he's going to be going towards that medevac, probably going siege tank Marines, it would be my guess. Since there is no layer or spire on the way, that would be a good choice. And these Zerglings are probably not going to do any damage at all, but he's going to try to be morphing them into Banglings so that he can do a Bangling bus and get in there, but even that is just not going to be very effective. Maybe he's just doing a little pressure for scouting, seeing if that expansion is on the way. And it should be, because it's not a very good idea to use mules and this many SCVs in your base. He really needs to expand. It's quite oversaturation. What you want to do is you want to expand and then use your mules over here so that if your expansion goes down, you can have this nice, safe little haven to fall back on. So you want the expansion in your main to be mined out quite about the same rate, and as you can see, these mineral patches are already getting low because those mules have been used. And the Zergling is a little bit out of position, so it won't be blocking the orbital command, but it does see it going down. Quickly killed. Layer is on the way for Maltiso. He hasn't used any Banglings that I've seen. I guess that was just for safety in case that early aggression did continue. Now this Zergling is here to scout for any early moving out. Well, I guess it's not early anymore. It's on the 10-minute mark. And I think our Zerg player should be expanding soon here. He's going to be falling behind. If you watch, I like to say that, well, obviously you need one expansion more. Yeah, then there it is. You need one more expansion than the Terran player, but I like to say you need to expand every 5 minutes. So on the 5-minute mark, you need to have 2 bases. On the 10-minute mark, you need to have 3 bases. That's how I keep track of my expanding. As Zerg, I don't know the good timings for Terran and Protoss, but that's just what I've observed with the Zerg. He is moving out, going to do some aggression, and this is going to be pretty successful. Only a bunch of Zerglings over here. Oh, never mind. He did scout that moving out with this Zergling. Throws down a bunch of Banglings, and now he should be reinforcing with more Zerglings, and as you can see, 14 on the way. That spire is also on the way, almost completed. So those Banglings could do a lot of trouble here if they're not hit by those tanks. And he is getting that armor upgrade. Oh, that was a good idea. Putting a Zergling right there to scout any attacks up this ramp. I'm going to use that. That was good. And let's see if he can do any damage as much as he needs to do. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. He does not have Bangling speed, and these tanks will just take out that clump in 2 hits. It will go down very quickly. This expansion should be cancelled. There it goes, and the drone does go down. Oh. Now the Zerg player is going to be having a hard time as he is equal in expansions. And again, he is pretty late on that expansion. A lot of players even have 4 hatcheries by now. He probably should get a macro hatch, something in his main. He is saving up a lot of minerals in that, but he is getting good upgrades. He is saving up those minerals, and it's probably 4 mutas, but he is still getting pretty high in the mineral count. Falling behind on supply. And oh, look at this Marine. Oh, that Marine spread. Oh, is sending in the Zerglings and the Banglings. I don't think that was as effective as it needed to be. He did lose a lot of units in that attack, and he could clean this up, and he needs to. The problem was that he sent his banglings into the siege tank, so what he needed to do was send those into the marines, but they were so spread out. What can you do? We now have a drop on the way. It looks like he could even load a tank into that. I don't know if you've seen the new videos about the stacking the siege tanks. Oh, if Terran wasn't OP before, it sure is now. Anyway, you can check that out on Husky's channel if you want to learn what I'm talking about. And I think that drop was scouted. It's not a good idea to fly drops right in the vision of everything, but he is, and Maltiso is not reacting very well to this. And he is, oh yeah, fly those mutas out of there. And that queen is not going to be able to do much damage. These marines stemmed, there they go, and now they're going to be going for the drones, and it's going to be very effective. He does not have anything to deal with this. Maybe he's not too concerned, but he is pulling back his whole army to deal with this, and that is a little bit of overkill. And these marines are in good position, so they cannot be surrounded. Going to be doing the maximum amount of damage that he can, and those mutas will finish off that drop. Now FaDeEvan is going for his third expansion, will be scouted by the Zergling most likely. And I don't know what this Overlord is for. And Maltiso is doing his third expansion as well. So again, equal expansions, and that's not ideal for Zerg. Zerg should be one ahead. And I think I'm going to have to cut this video into several parts. So it's a pretty long game, and I'm going to cast all of it because I can. Oh, and the high yield, never mind. He is fine. And let's see how this base is doing. He is doing the SCV split, which is what he needs to do, and then pulling these units over there to protect his third, which is a good idea since it's about to go down. And this army, the Zerg army, is obviously not anywhere near where it needs to be able to deal with this army. Look at this. Ouch. Ouch. Terran army is much larger. 28 Zerglings and 1 muta, 2 mutas on the way. He needs to be saturating this high yield expansion, which he is slowly, but let's see, and not doing gas. I wonder if he notices that. I doubt that's, yeah. Now he noticed. I doubt that was on purpose, though. Because as a Zerg player, you just want all those gases all the time. Oh, he just now spotted that Zergling. That Zergling has served his Overlord very well, doing this needed scouting. He is working on his creep spread. It's not amazing, but all his bases are connected, and that's the most important thing, but still, this army is just not where it needs to be compared to this one. Oh, actually, it's sometimes it's a good idea to have one medevac per marine. Sometimes that's a good idea. Just in case you want to do a little bit of overkill. And I don't see this going well for the Zerg player. These little marines are going to do a lot of damage, and what he needs to do is fly the mutas in from the back and the Zerglings in from the front, and this would be cleaned up instantly. But he is not doing that. Instead, he's losing lots, but it's lots on both sides, so that's fine. I don't suggest flying mutas into marines like this and then going for the medevacs. He needs to be going for the marines first and then the medevacs, which he needed finally at the end there, but he did lose a lot of mutas there that were not needed. Smart idea to get these missile turrets. What is he doing? Another expansion. Whew. I wonder if he knows about this high yield expansion. No, he does not. Ooh, that is rough for him. He is doing Zergling muta this whole time. How is his upgrades doing? He needs to be getting that hive tech so he can do some upgrades. How about that spire upgrades? Yes, he does have the one attack. And I'm not sure. I've heard different theories on the upgrades for Zerg Mutalisk. Looks like a drop on the way over here. Try to keep an eye on that. I'm not sure, maybe if you guys know you can help me out, but I don't know if one upgrade counts for the glaive worms. So every time it bounces, I don't know if it does one more additional damage. I've heard oh, and there goes the drop. A lot of drones going down. Nothing to deal with this, and the army is here, so this is just a distraction. Pull the army away as the whole army comes up, takes out those creep tumors, and he really needs to be going for this high yield, but he doesn't even know about it. So anyway, yeah, if the +1 attack upgrade applies to the glaive worms, let me know. I've heard different things from different casters. So, yeah, I don't know. I've heard some players have told me it's better to get +1 armor for the Mutalists. Others say it's better to get attack. Just personal preference, probably. I just don't see this, equal armies. That's not good because... Oh, what is this? Now he's getting the high yield of his own. Doing some long distance mining, and this is a good idea, actually. He could be saturating this gas a little better, but he does have plenty of minerals. And, ooh, the Zerg army does go down, but at what cost? He's so, all these units are so low on health. Yep, this should finish it off. And the 5th expansion going down, the 5th base is going down for Maltiso. And that army does get cleaned up. Hopefully he has a reinforcing army. He does, but he needs a Thor and other stuff and tank on the way. That's fine. Ooh. A lot of production facilities, but he could just see these minerals are stacking up. What he needs to do is just have loads of more production facilities and be expanding. He could be doing... He could have a maxed out army by now, obviously. But he is trying to do that pressure, and that's good. Zerg is doing the scouting now. Instant saturation. That is fine. And now that high yield does get scouted. Planetary Fortress, good idea. And now the Zerg is attacking here, and it's going to do a lot of damage. He is not prepared for this at all. His army is way over here. He does have a few Marines over there, but it's just too little, too late. And I don't know why he is choosing to retreat there. He could have done a lot more damage there if the Zerglings focused down the... Well, that's a good idea, just leave a few Zerglings there. If he had focused down the missile turrets with the Zerglings and then flown in the Mutalists, I think he could have taken out this Orbital Command, but when it's the heat of the moment, sometimes you don't know what to do. Still going Ling Muta, and I think we're 23 minutes into the game. This is way too late. He needs to be getting that Hive Tech. The Spire did almost die there. Could transfuse that. The Queen has a lot of energy. That's not good. And he is loaded up on minerals. Needs a proxy hatch. And connecting these bases. Oh my. It's so easy to be critical of other play when it is not me doing it. My own play is horrid. Especially since I don't get to play as often as I'd like to. Just taking out that missile turret, that's a good idea. That's unfortunate because all these tanks are unprotected and he should just... Oh! That's okay because those Marines are so far away that he will be able to take down this barracks at least. He is in good... Oh, he's just in good position here. That was gold for him. Big money. Those Marines are finally getting in there, but it's, again, too late. Much too late. Get out of there. Get out of there. And this barracks probably will go down. Let's watch it. Is he going to be able to repair in time? I think he's just going to let it go. And kaboom. Kaboom. Wow. Man. Too bad all of... Wow. Very cool. And that reactor will go down as well. That is... It takes a lot of time to build those. But he has just got another one on the way. Perfect. Now look at this army. This is a maxed out army against a non-maxed out army. So Zerg is doing good. He might have a comeback at this. Ooh, taking those siege tanks out of position. This is... Oh, ooh. But he does have that Thor able to get off a few volleys of shots, which is good. That splash damage did hit all those mutas that were balled up. How are they doing on the upgrades? Still 0-1 upgrades. He needs to be... He has loads of cash. He needs to be doing those upgrades a little better. Let's look at FaDeEvan's upgrades. He does have 2-2 and 0-0. A lot of Terrans do forget to get those upgrades for those mech units, even though he's got the money. There's no excuse for this. And that drop, oh, insta-dead. See, these missile turrets are doing what they need to do to scare those mutas away, but, I mean, come on. You fly them in here, attack, and drops at these bases would just be amazing. But they're, yeah, see how close this hatchery is? Just one siege tank, bam, kill that off. And this Thor is paying for himself. It's a brilliant idea just to have 1 or 2 Thors in your army, just so that these siege tanks aren't completely undefended. Because Marines are really easy to replace. They yeah, see, you tell him. You tell him. Oh, and he lived through the broodlings. Yeah, I like the idea of having those siege tanks in there to protect those, or not the siege tanks, having the Thors in there to protect the siege tanks while the Marines are away. That's good. And look at that. The army does go down, and it's instantly maxed out again with these Zerglings and Banglings. Ooh, get in his expansion. He needs that. He is mined out there. This is almost mined out. This is getting low. He needs to just... Oh, but yeah, of course we have this. So that is good. Surprised there's not a drop going down here. He should have known that... Yeah, and that queen is getting in there. I mean, he did drop this and should have known how low it was, and he should have finished it off a long time ago. Yeah, there we go. There are those Thors. They don't have their cannon upgrades. And this is the deadly slow Terran push. And this expansion was scouted and blown up. Probably should have thrown down missile turrets before the... Oh, that cut... Whoa, whoa! Probably going to make these planetaries, which is a good idea. But he doesn't get the cancel, I don't think. And, oh, this is just not good. Sure, he is killing the SCVs, but the mutas are going down just as fast. And when they're supplemented with these missile turrets, at the same time doing an attack over here. He is just steamrolling with these Banglings. Not into Thors, not into Thors. Oh, man. Oh, everything's going down. But so much remains. And these mutas are cleaning this up, but at what cost? The army was separated. If he had those mutas in with those Zerglings and Banglings, it probably would have done a lot better. And now both these expansions are going to go down. And an expansion is going down of his own. Who's coming out on top of this? It might be a base race scenario, in account that the Terran army is so far away and the Zergling can't deal with this army at the moment. He needs more Banglings. And he has the money. That isn't the concern, and there they are. That's what I've been wanting. There they are, but they need to be on the creep. I think it'd be a good idea for him to burrow some of those and have some landmines. But he is just going to steamroll into this, and you want those to go into the Marines, not into the siege tanks. Do the Marines, and then the mutas can clean that up after, but instead he does that in the reverse order. Sends the Banglings into the siege tanks. The Marines are going to, or the mutas are going to be able to clean this up. And now that Zerg army is pulling ahead of the Terran player. The Terran player is on the retreat. Killing those medevacs. Not looking good for FaDeEvan. Ooh, come on. Pull in, pull out, whatever. Shake it all about. I'm trying to sing the Hokey Pokey, but it sounds really dirty. So I'm going to stop. 2 Marines are going to clean this up. Nah, just psych. That was a joke, you guys. And oh, so much damage done here. Hopefully he was able to cancel all those command centers he had. Now the Zerg is out of money. He just has this mining base, which is low. That's all he has right now. And he can't afford to build more hatcheries because he needs more army, but that's exactly what he needs to do. And he needs to fly in here and make something happen, or else he's going to have planetary fortresses on his doorstep. I guess these are actually going to be an expansion and some factories. That is fine as well. Sometimes it's a good idea to have a supply depot here, just in case. And here comes in the Mutaball. These guys could just wreak havoc here. But he is retreating, which is not what he needs to do. He just needs to take out that missile turret. And then he could just come in here and own. I mean, like, okay, what he should have done was flown in from this angle and hit that, but of course, hindsight is 2020. Rob's guns. Yep. Rob's guns. So, Terran player should be stopping there. And this nice Overlord placement, pooping out that creep. Prevents another expansion. You really want to throw someone off. Go ahead and burrow Zergling under that. Oh. Terrans won't even know what to do. I want to play with the idea of having drop and then bringing a queen in the Overlord, dropping it down, placing creep tumor, loading it back into the Overlord, so that when the Overlord retreats, and then the Terran's player is waiting for the creep to go away, and it never does. But I've never been able to pull that off. But hey, someday. This is a big Mutaball. I'm going to be able to pick this off. Going to be able to do a lot of damage to this Terran player. Luckily, those Marines are split. Everything is split. I mean, how do you attack this? Banglings aren't going to do it. You got to have burrowed Banglings. That's the only way. See, if there's a burrowed Bangling, you know, here. Cool. GG. And that is going down. Man, this game is a whole lot more exciting than the games I played. And again, now both players are out of minerals. Our Terran player is out of everything. He can't expand or do much. He's got to have to... Probably a good idea to fly out this orbital somewhere else, because this is just not being too effective. And here it goes. I don't think this is going to go well for the Zerg player or the Terran player. Too bad the Terran player doesn't have a Thor in there. Oh! Is this the closest game ever? Definitely one of the closest I've ever seen. Other than that one game where it was my Spore Crawler versus another guy's Banshee. That was pretty close. Obviously, you know who won. Like a boss. That was back in Bronze League, which is the best league, I might add. Alright. High yield expansion is mined out. Transferring those SCVs to a dangerous location. I mean, what is the right decision to do now? Sacrifice them? I don't think that's the best idea, but he's trying to do long distance mining, but he is just losing everything. I don't think that's what he was trying to do. At the same time, he's going for a counterattack, so a good distraction. But at the same time, how is he going to deal with all these mutas? The Zerg player is doing long mining of his own. I mean, what do you do in this situation? Do you build a hatchery, or do you build units? And the obvious answer is to build a hatchery, but it's going to cost the game. Not very many mutas left. I don't think they can deal with this many Marines. This is not going to end well for the Zerg player, is my prediction. You guys take your vote, but all it takes is a stim and all those mutas are going to pop. Yep. Ooh, it's just... Oh, there we go. That's what we needed. But he just can't get those in. It's too bad he doesn't have some burrowed Banglings around. And he's taking down those siege tanks. He could now roll in those Banglings. That's what he needs to do. But at the same time, his hatchery is going down. Oh, just Bangling! Just Bangling in there! Oh, no. And it looks like he was on his way to the Hive Tech. See, now he's moving in, but it is... Now it's too late. It is too late. What are you attacking? I mean, it's good to be against the wall and everything. I'd probably be going for that Spire myself. But it doesn't really matter at this point. There we go. There we go. Yes, clean that up. But at the same time, the Terran player does have mules, and he could lift off an orbital command and go to a different location. That would be awesome to do. And it just... Unable to clean this up, even with those few Marines. That is... He's going to have to wait for the stim to go down to bring in those mutas. And he's retreating. I don't know if that's the right decision. Again, both players are out of minerals. This game is so close. FaDeEvan is laughing. Oh, and then Maltiso throws down the GG. Wow. That game was intense. Let's look at those APMs. Whew. My fingertips have blisters on them just from looking at that. That is a lot faster than my games. Alright, so thank you to FaDeEvan for sending me this replay. That game was just neck and neck the entire time. And he was really happy about beating this Zerg player who's very good on his server. And this is Grandmasters game, not a game I usually cast, but when it is from somebody sending it to me, I am gonna cast it. So, I'll go ahead and work on the other game and get these uploaded this week. And Bestofbronze will be back next week. So, until then, GG.